the NFL regular season came to an end Sunday, and we've had a lot of hirings and a lot of firings. I apologize.
Yes.
But yeah, head coaches have been relieved of their duties. Jerod Mayo. So let's go to them, the Patriots and the Jaguars. Did Jerod Mayo and Doug Peterson deserve to be let go? And out of everybody that's left, which current head coach do y'all believe should have been let go but hasn't been?
So I think the Jerod Mayo thing is interesting because I saw somewhere, who was the last coach? It just happened like a season or two ago, where going into the final game of the season, they could have had the number 1 pick. They won that game, and then they got fired, essentially just like Jerod Mayo.
Was that the Texans head coach? Was that Lovie Smith or Romeo Cornell?
It was Lovie Smith. It was Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith went into the last game of the season with the number 1 pick, won that game,
and
they fired him. Yep, they fired him right after.
That's a fireable offense. But he knew he must have known he was gonna get fired before that game.
That's why they fired Antonio Pierce.
I agree with you there, Nick. But that's definitely a fireable offense.
If you already gonna let me go, shit, fuck it.
If I know,
but if they should have told him beforehand, lose the game.
Hold on, one at a time. Which one of y'all said?
Did they tell him to lose the game? No, Lou.
Bro, if you know we have the number 1 pick and you coaching your heart out trying to win this game, yes, that's a fireable offense. That's negligent. That's crazy.
Not if you didn't tell me we're supposed to lose. You got to tell me that. If I'm coaching, I'm thinking I'm coaching for my job. I'm not thinking I'm gonna lose this game on purpose. You gonna keep me?
I want to interject. I don't think that's a fireable offense at all. No, I don't. I think what this is, because who are they going to draft? Travis Hunter? They somebody like do the Patriots really care that much about Travis Hunter like that to tank for him?
Or I can trade back and I can get a package deal for that number 1 pick.
You can do that with the second too. But here's the thing. I think this is classic NFL situations. You can see the outrage by the Patriot players, ex-players, at what happened to him. Everything that they told him. There was an article that came out said that they were still backing him. This is nothing but we want you to take care of this franchise and lose all these games until we get the people in here. Yeah. They saw that Drake May can play well enough, and they want to go get a guy. They don't have time to wait on Jerod Mayo to learn how to do the job. What was the word choice? Grooming him to be head coach. Yeah. They're like, we can't waste 2 to 3 years with Drake May learning on the job while Jerod Mayo is learning on the job. So they got him up out of there.
So then why handpick him and make this whole hoopla of this is the successor to Bill Belichick? Why not have an open interview process like every other team whenever they lose a head coach? Why make this whole big thing that this was handpicked?
Because you didn't have to pay him like you to pay another guy to be a placeholder like they did.
No, so
if you wrong on Kraft, you thinking about that money though? Like that ain't got shit.
No, Sheldon. The thing is, Spike, Sheldon, it's simple. We fucking lied. We got you. We fucking lied. Yeah. It's DEI, nigga. Where like the DEI coach is gone. Now we're gonna get the white hire in there that we really wanted, and it's also because Mike Vrabel is actually more qualified for the job. He has more experience. We're getting the DEI guy out of here because we knew he was gonna crash and burn. He was a crash test dummy. We fucking lied to you. And then now we're going to get Mike Vrabel in here with Drake May, and we're going to try to win 8 or 9 games. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen because things like New England has a lot more problems on defense than, I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's just what it was. We fucking lied. It's simple.
Yeah. You're right. Q is definitely right about that. They lied, and I don't think that Kraft looked he didn't do himself any favors doing that press conference and saying, I believe he can be a head coach. Because to your point, FIFO, why do you put this in my contract? Why are you saying that I'm the successor if you're going to give me 1 year to do it with a rookie quarterback and a roster that's not that good? The Patriots have $100 million in cap space. They could have got a lot of free agents if they wanted to, and they could have made that team better for Jerod Mayo if they thought that he was a good coach, but they didn't do that. They could have won this year. They saved this money and took Q's point. Now we're going to hire the person that we really want to coach this team, and we're gonna spend the money to do that.
Because I feel like this, man. I feel like Rob Gronkowski. When I forgot what telecast he was on or whatever, and he looked at Jimmy Johnson. He was like, "Jimmy, what did you go your first year? 1-15, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So are we judging head coaches off of their first year?
1
Like,
year.
we don't know what Jerod Mayo could have or could be.
Then
I
they
don't think
cut
he
it.
was a bad head coach. You know what I'm saying? Look, he went
wasn't
into,
good. He wasn't good though. I
but
will say that he wasn't good.
but I don't think he's. So do you think he was you think he was the worst head coach in the league?
He beat the Bengals.
No, he wasn't the worst. He wasn't the worst.
That's his best. That's his
They're
best
worse.
win.
They're worse coaches than him. Yeah.
There's worse coaches, right? And we're talking 1 year with a roster that's clearly have been decimated from the Bill Belichick days. Drake May was the brightest spot on your roster, right? And like you said, they're going into free agency with $100 million. They're going into free agency with a top 5 pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go from last to first. It happens all the time. There has not been a back-to-back NFC South champion for in forever.
Or AFCs. Excuse me, NFCs.
It happens. If you could be last this year and be first, ask the Texans.
I just don't
the
think
Texans had two top 10 picks just 2 years ago, and they went back-to-back conferences. Come on.
They're just not comfortable with them, though. That's just what I take from a lot of these coaches. And it's not necessarily a race thing. I don't want it to just only be that conference.
It's not just race.
It's not necessarily. It's race is always going to be a factor in every single thing, bro. But at the end of the day, Mike Vrabel he's shown more success than Jerod has. And when you're Robert Kraft and you have the ability to go get somebody who's proven to be able to win with a guy like Ryan Tannehill, you think that, okay, I got Drake May and I got this money. Let me go get the more proven commodity here in Mike Vrabel than try to hope and wish and maybe versus
Vrabel got to prove himself though, Q.
I mean, that's true. I mean,
does he? Has he not? Has Vrabel not proven himself?
I'm saying he's had the chance to prove himself by what he did in Tennessee.
Oh, I got you.
But Mayo hasn't done it.
But here's the thing, though. What we're talking about is everything is relative to location, it's relative to spending, it's relative to what the owner's philosophy is, and it's also relative to what that team can bring in because of where they're at. A team like Tennessee is not necessarily the most attractive location to a plethora of coaches and players. So when you have a gym like Mike Vrabel, you kind of say that, okay, all the guys in the locker room like him. If the ownership really likes him, he's on a good deal, and we're improving each year. Dude, when they popped off and went to that playoff game against the Chiefs with Henry and Ryan Tannehill, that just was a testament to the fact that he was getting better every year as a coach. And New England already has a pedigree of winning. They have the expectations to go win more championships. Tennessee, relative to where they're at, relative to their history, relative to coaching philosophy, they saw, okay, let's not really shake up the apple cart here. Let's keep going and see what we can get with this coach who's getting better every year. We don't have 6 Super Bowls on our mantle, dude. So let's try to ride that out. Certain teams have that luxury that other teams don't.
My thing is also one of the last points I'll make on this topic. But Marty Jones made a joke about this situation as far as eventually as black head coaches or black coordinators who want to be head coaches, you got to be real with the situation too. If you know you're going into a shitty situation, and you know that your hot seat is basically going to start as soon as game 1, then you know what you got to do. You got to do a D'Amico Ryan, Shelton. You got to do who else is there? You got to do a Mike Tomlin. You got to do something that has never been done before, or things that we didn't or overseed expectations to keep your job.
That doesn't matter though.
No, but
because Lovie Smith did that and they let him go too.
Yeah, he was 10-6.
He didn't.
Marvin Lewis did that. He got fired.
Marvin stayed there for me.
I think Nick is talking about people that come into new situations.
If you come into a shitty situation, yes, they're gonna judge you off your wins. Is that unfair? Yes, but you're not going to a situation like a Nick Sirianni or who else? So what people thought that the Bears situation is going to be, or even shit where it's just like Sean Payton, where it's we're going to let you either come to a great situation where you just plug and play, or we're going to give you a long leash. They're not going to get the Matt Rule 5-year, $100 million contracts. We already know that. It's history to prove that. So it's like when you go into these situations, you got to know if I don't win at least 5-6 games, they probably gonna fire me.
Any thoughts on Doug Peterson?
He deserved it.
Yeah,
I got a random question.
Dallas tomorrow.
But Jacksonville's terrible though. So
I got a question though. Why is the Chicago's Bears job more attractive than the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Caleb Williams.
Because of theoretically what Caleb could be, what Odunze could be, Keenan Allen, you know what I'm saying? They have
Keenan not coming
back. That defense.
Nick, it goes to your point. We know at this point, we know how good Trevor Lawrence is.
But do we though?
Yeah, I think we do at this point.
To a degree.
We figured it out by now.
And
he ain't gonna get much better than he is right now. That's all right if you got good talent around him. But we know what Trevor Lawrence is. Caleb Williams can be better than what Trevor Lawrence is.
I don't disagree, Spike. Trevor Lawrence, at this point, we know what he is, but every quarterback can become more efficient, therefore pushing his boundary. And that's all Trevor Lawrence could do now is just become more efficient in terms of what he is. Caleb Williams, we don't know what he is.
But my thing is this though. We keep on talking about Caleb Williams like he's the can't miss thing that you got to catch him on the iron. Hold on, listen. I'm just saying the situation is being discussed today. I'm not saying y'all are. I'm just saying the situation is being discussed. And I'm like, Ken, I know this is gonna sound crazy because y'all know how I felt about Trevor Lawrence, but it's just like if we can see Sam Darnold with Kevin O'Connell, what do you think Ben Johnson with Trevor Lawrence could be? Because we know that Trevor Lawrence is talented enough to where he could put points on the board based on college pedigree, right? We ain't seen it in the league, and when we did see it, it was only for one season. Like
Nick,
you don't think Trevor Lawrence and a Ben Johnson can do something that Sam Darnold's doing and Kevin O'Connell?
Of course.
I don't think so. I think that we have watched enough football, we watched enough professional sports to know that when you go through head coach after head coach after head coach, you look at the ownership, you look at top down. Like you can bring anybody in there. Sacramento Kings can't get that shit right. No matter who they bringing in. They might be on a 5-game win streak, just NBA shit right now. But they fire Mike Brown, they fire the other coach, fire the coach before them, all them other coaches, and they haven't gotten it right because the owner is too involved. Jerry Jones, they can bring in every fucking head coach that they want to, as long as Jerry Jones. I believe that it's top down with. I think it's completely top down with Jacksonville. They then brought in 7 coaches over the last 20 years, and it's just like what has changed.
And I would agree with you on that, but we have history. We have history right in front of us. We've seen that Geno Smith can actually be a above average QB. We've seen Sam Darnold be argued as
a different team. Those are different teams.
I know, but I'm saying bringing a head coach in this situation because Trevor ain't going nowhere. He's gonna stay there. So it's not like they're gonna trade the contract. And it'd probably be an ugly trade on the contract anyway. But if we keep on lauding Ben Johnson this much, niggas be glazing him like he the second coming of I don't know who they hit. I don't know what coach they think this nigga gonna be. But if he don't work out, because I think in year 1 people are expecting the Chicago Bears are gonna be a playoff team with Ben Johnson
or close to it. It's just gonna be better than what they are.
I'm saying it would be easier for him to prove his genius and greatness in the AFC South. The Texans barely won their damn division. And even then, you still got 2 games against the Colts and 2 games against the Titans. Like,
but again, it's the potential of what Caleb has. And here's the thing, too. I don't disagree that being a great coordinator is completely different than being a great head coach, right? And I always use Norv Turner as the example. Every time Norv Turner went to a new team as the OC, that team offense was top 5 offense. Every time, and I think Norv Turner had 2 or 3 stints as a head coach. Every time he went as a head coach, they was trash because it's overview. So I don't know how great Ben Johnson is going to be at overview, but I know this, and everybody on this panel should know this as well. Creativity in terms of play design and play execution and play calling, he's top tier. The only other person that look, I would say, who the nigga in with the Rams? You know I'm bad with names. What's his name?
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, Andy Reid, and my nigga in LaFleur. Outside of that, bro, who's a better play caller than Ben Johnson? Who's a better play designer? Well, if we're looking at it from an offensive perspective, that works. I agree, Nick. I don't know if it works as a head coach, but if I had to bet on somebody, that's going to take that jump based off of what we've seen, that's who I'm putting my money on.
And I'm saying this, he could be more Zach Taylor than Sean McVay.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be
because everybody talks about the Joe Burrow offense and how great that is, and we see Triple Crown, most passing yards in the league, all that shit. And niggas ain't making the playoffs. And if the Bears don't make the playoffs again the upcoming year with Ben Johnson, that's what I'm saying. That criticism is gonna be like, we did all this for Ben Johnson, we did all this for Caleb Williams.
You don't gotta do it. You don't gotta do it his first year though, Nick.
Yeah,
why not?
Look. I think for the Bears is we got to be in contention. If they don't make the playoffs, fine. But it's like, oh, we lost it in week 18.
You have to be improvement.
You got to be there.
You got to be improvement.
They can't be like 4 and whatever. They can't be like 3.
They can't do that.
They have to be competitive.
Nah, Lou, this is what it is. Because FIFA was over here talking about, I want my flowers for the Dan Campbell take. I was early. He ain't calling his flowers. He tapering expectations on Caleb Williams. I thought this nigga was the second coming of somebody who nigga.
He's tapering. He's tapering expectations on Ben Johnson.
Nah, fuck all that.
Because Nick,
Lou, let me talk.
Caleb got to learn a full offense now.
Let me talk, bro. Let me talk. These motherfuckers told me that Caleb Williams is gonna go to the playoffs his first year.
Yeah, he did.
Off the rip.
I did.
And Nick, I said they wouldn't win more than 5 games.
Yeah,
and I said Jaden Daniels for 5 years gonna be better than Caleb Williams off the rip, and I'm walking that back.
I'm definitely willing. I'm willing to jump off. I'm willing to jump off a cliff right now and say I think Caleb is like gonna be all right. Like I don't.
Yeah, like
that's just me though. That's just me.
Eberflus is just a bad coach, bro. And the Bears didn't do Caleb Williams
once
any
again
favors by keeping him around. Now that they're going to hire a new coach, they can be a competent fucking team and get a good coach for Caleb. But we can't judge Caleb.
Don't do
that.
I feel you.
Y'all be dancing on shit, bro. And then y'all want to get y'all props for shit. Nah, nigga.
Let me say
10 toes on. If Caleb is that good, he going to the fucking playoffs next year.
Let me tell you something.
Fuck all that shit.
The problem is once again, dude. I think it comes down to organizations, and the Bears have not shown me that from an ownership standpoint, general management, all that stuff. They aren't. You can hire 7 coaches in 7 straight years, dude. And it's been Matt Nagy, it's been Eberflus, it's been John Fox, it's been everybody who should be competent, but there's something wrong with either the owner don't want to spend what he need to spend, he not willing to spend on the personnel. And when you see a carousel of coaches, and regardless of the talent, I'm just gonna say that that is a malignant organization.
Thank you.
Q, I don't disagree. I don't disagree, but let's be fair here. The Bears over the last 2 to 3 seasons have gotten the personnel right, and they've paid the right guys. They've made the right moves.
Dumb decisions though. They shouldn't have brought Eberflus back as a head
100%.
coach. Because now I'm in the head coaching market. Now my young quarterback got to learn a brand new offense.
Yes,
he got to learn a brand new head coach. The Bears that's a terrible organization.
100%. But you know how you shed your terrible organization cloak is you got to take steps. Right, just like with the Detroit Lions, they went and got Dan Campbell. They went and traded for Jerod Goff, and everybody still had him as a laughing stock. And it's like, wait, there's a level of patience that needs to be there. And to address you, Nick, I think Caleb Williams is amazing because when you watch him play, he made throws last season that's like, oh, okay, maybe.
Good.
My homeboy, the white hype over there in Buffalo, Lamar. It's only a certain amount of quarterbacks that can do the things that he's able to do. The thing about when you're young like this and early in your career, you have to be able to learn from a system and or coach or offensive coordinator that is good. So that way you learn good habits. We knew Eberflus was a fucking dumpster fire last year, and that was an organizational mistake. Now, here's the thing. Trading for DJ Moore, you know what I'm saying? Great. Paying DJ Moore, great. Paying Jalen Johnson, paying Montez Sweat, great. They've made good moves. They just haven't made all of the moves that a good organization would do. Okay. They're taking steps. And here's the thing. I want to jump off of this because I know this is going to start another dumpster fire, and I know we don't have that much more time. However, Steelers got to move off of Mike Tomlin, not because he's trash or anything like that. Not because he's trash.
Hey,
because
people,
he's trash.
if you was gonna say this earlier, I would have given it to you earlier.
Hold on. The only reason why I'm saying that is because it's a lot like Andy Reid with the Eagles, right? You have so much success, but you're not beating the door down anymore. Like you're literally hitting your head against that wall. And it's not that he's a bad coach. I'm not saying he needs to be out the league. I'm not saying it's just, I think Mike Tomlin's voice in that locker room has ran its course. And I think there should be a team that should trade for him, or you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only way. If I'm the Steelers, I get rid of him. I need compensation because huh?
Not a lot.
I think if I'm the Steelers, I want compensation because I'm not going to be able to replace the level of production that Mike Tomlin has. So I need compensation for that. And again, I'm not saying that he's a bad coach. I'm just saying one and done ain't enough no more. It's just not.
So let me ask you this.
I've been saying this for years.
And the Steelers, you a hater. You a Mike Tomlin hater.
hater, no, Nick.
Let me ask you this. You say the same thing I'm saying, FIFO. They gonna call you a hater too.
Can the Steelers go out and get a better coach than Mike Tomlin today?
I already said you can't. I already said you can't. I already said that.
So why would I fire him?
I think it's a mute.
No. I didn't say fire. I said trade him. Trade him because you're not going to win with him.
Are we gonna spend some money on a quarterback? Go get a good quarterback. Don't bring me Russell Wilson. Don't bring me fucking Justin Fields.
And you know,
go get a good quarterback and give him
and with the draft compensation I get from Mike Tomlin, I could go do that.